Lost Reality are about to attack, and we are going to find out the fate of the Lost Reality and the Fortnite Island in Chapter 4 Season 4, which is going to be the finale of this chapter, where we're going to see these monsters everywhere on the Fortnite Island. And before we get to this, let's check out the evolution of Fortnite's live event. The very first live event took place in Chapter 1 Season 4, all the way back in summer of 2018. But the build-up for this live event happened in Season 3. We saw this giant meteoroid in the sky, and also we was getting tiny rocks crashing onto the Fortnite Island. And in Season 4, this giant meteoroid crashed, destroying Dusty Divot and leaving a giant crater in the middle of the island. We discovered that this rock was in fact a spaceship because there was a pod inside of it. This mysterious person inside the pod escaped, created a base near Snobby Shore, activated this rocket. It starts going crazy, rifting all over the place. It also makes it look like it's about to destroy Tilted Towers, only to rift at the last second. And this rocket creates a giant rift in the sky, setting us up for Season 5. Season 5 was our very first rift-related season, where a bunch of other objects and people from different realities showed up in Fortnite, including the legendary Kevin the Cube. Literally out of the blue, we get this purple lightning bolt spawn this mysterious purple cube. The cube went around the map and ended up at Loot Lake, melts into the Loot Lake, and the whole lake turned into this bouncy cube. Season 6, we get this floating Kevin the Cube Island. This was a start of our next big event, Butterfly event. Also during this season, we get cube crystals on the map, which spawns zombies that literally everywhere. Cube and the island mysteriously explodes, taking us to this mysterious world known as the In-Between. In-Between is the 0 points world. You can see the 0 point connected to different realities. And at the end of the event, we are rifted back to the Fortnite Island. Find Kevin the Cube is now gone. Also in Season 6, we get this mysterious robot. Frozen legs appear at Flush Factory. When we looked in the distance, we saw this frozen ice heading towards the Fortnite Island. This iceberg would be responsible for our Season 7 live event and Season 9 live event. Season 7, Christmas is here, and this iceberg is now part of our Fortnite Island. On top of this ice mountain, we discover this mysterious castle, Polar Peak, and there is a mini event happening on top of the castle, Infinity Blade event. Also during this season, the prisoner escapes from the castle, who's an enemy of the king of this Polar Peak, the Ice King. Prisoner, who's also known as the Fire King, his biggest weakness is ice. So to capture him, the Ice King freezes the entire Fortnite Island. Season 8 is here. We get a giant volcano. We get this mysterious bunker in the middle of the island. And during this live event, it opens. We are made to vote between 6 different items and weapons. This is the very first time we see the 0 point. Obviously, the drum gun wins, and the second part of this live event begins. The volcano is erupting. We get a bunch of volcanic rocks flying, and it destroys Retail Row. For the first time, Tilted Towers gets completely obliterated as well. But there is one more. This rock hits this random location, Polar Peak. Not even the castle, the base of the mountain. That is because when we go to Season 9, we discover this evil monster hidden inside the mountain of Polar Peak. Polar Peak monster escapes and is spotted swimming around the Fortnite Island, with the Polar Peak castle still on its back. Season 9 live event is here. The monster reveals itself. For some reason, it goes straight towards the vault where the 0 point is located. Singularity has built a robot and she fights this monster. The monster fights back. The robot pushes the monster into the ocean. Just when we think it is all over, over, the monster completely destroys the robot. As a last resort, the robot goes straight towards the vault. It pulls out the 0 point and uses its power, and it destroys the Catus monster. It goes into space, and we won't see this robot until chapter 3. The 0 point is exposed for the very first time. Final season of this chapter, season 10 is here. Because the 0 point gets destabilized, it explodes and creates Fortnite mini events all over the island. And this giant meteoroid is back. The person who launched the rocket in season 4 is back, but this time there's more than one rocket. In fact, there are 7. They create a rift in front of the meteoroid, making the meteoroid spawn just above the 0 point. Their mission is to destroy the 0 point and stop in the loop, but unfortunately it backfires. The 0 point explodes and it creates a giant black hole. After Fortnite being down for 3 days, we get a brand new chapter 2 map. We get a random Star Wars event, and we're introduced to, for the first time in the history of Fortnite, the lightsabers. Also in the middle of the Fortnite island, we discover golden objects. This was a teaser to one of the most famous characters in Fortnite history, Midas. Midas was building this doomsday device at the agency with the help of his friends. In season 2, we got one of the biggest Fortnite concerts ever in history, Travis Scott concert. End of season 2, the doomsday event is activated. Midas's mission is to push the storm back. Just like the 7, he wants to stop the loop, and it works. The storm is completely gone, and at that moment we are spawned in this mysterious office, and when we spawn back, we find out that the storm is now just a giant tsunami. And yet again we spawn inside of the office, but this time we meet Agent Jones. Half of the map is underwater. We have an in-game event where these annoying marauders appear out of nowhere. During the season, we get this random arrival of Captain America, because this was our first teaser for our next live event. Marks like these starts appearing on the map. The Avengers are here to protect the Fortnite island against the mighty Galactus. The end of season 4, the Galactus is here. We find out that it is after one thing, the 0 point. It basically wants to eat it because the 0 point has a lot of energy. With the help of the Avengers, we fight Galactus. We find out that the battle bus is fitted with explosives. Galactus eats all of the battle buses. Iron Man detonates the bomb and destroys Galactus. Because the 0 point is exposed, we get a bunch of people escaping the loop. Agent Jones goes around the Fortnite realities, hiring different hunters. This creates many events during the season, creating these portals, bringing characters like Chun-Li, Terminator. Because the 0 point was used a lot, it destabilizes yet again. Agent Jones disobeys the orders of the Imagine Order. We see complete chaos on the map. Peely gets destroyed. Agent Jones calls the Foundation, but the Foundation attacks Jones. And just as he's about to crush him, Jones tells the Foundation he can take him to Geno and the sisters. In return, the Foundation has to fix the 0 point. We help Agent Jones and the Foundation fix the 0 point. The 0 point completely changes the environment to this primal, and this event ends by the Foundation sealing himself inside of this new tower called the Spire. During this season, people were getting abducted by the UFOs. We find a giant mothership over the Fortnite island. First thing it does is destroys the Spire because it wants the 0 point. The alien wanted to read our memories, so they held this Ariana Grande concert this season. Also this season, in-game, you had this mini event where you got abducted and you found yourself inside of the UFO. Dr. Sloan wanted to destroy the mothership, so she hid a bunch of bombs. She used us as detonators. We went inside of the mothership. We discovered that Kevin the Cube was the Lost Realities technology. Dr. Sloan reveals to us that she had no escape plan for us, and we are going to explode with the mothership. We reboot Kevin the Cube, and we find ourselves in this mysterious room, and that there is more than than one Kevin the Cube. In fact, there are hundreds of thousands of Kevin the Cubes. Mothership explodes and we find ourselves falling towards the Fortnite island along with bunch of cubes and alien stuff. Find bunch of cubes on the island. Every now and then in game we see this small event where the gold cube is bonding with the purple cube. Also in game we are sucked into this world called the Sideways. You could find these zombie monsters. During the Fortnitemares event which took place during this season, we are introduced to this character called the Cube Queen. She creates a cube pyramid in the center of the island. That is where our next event and the final event of this chapter is going to take place. The biggest live event in the history of Fortnite is here, the Last Reality event. The Cube Queen shoots a beam of energy into the sky, opening a portal. We find out that there's armies of UFO ships in space, including the Cube Cradle. Also in this trailer, the Foundation turned out to be The Rock. He saves Agent Jones from the Imagine Order. He reveals that he's got a plan to save the Fortnite island. 7 flips the map, destroying the Last Reality, taking us to Chapter 3. Chapter 3 Season 1, we see bunch of random drills appear on the map. We get earthquake around Tilted Towers. We find out this was caused by the Imagine Order. That's because they are back. The Imagine Order has erected a collider at the center of the island. To destroy it, Paradigm has rebuilt this robot. We find out the 7 has the secret base on this ice moon just outside the Fortnite island. The robot is almost about to destroy the collider, but the ground collapses. We find ourselves inside of the Imagine Order's headquarters. Just before Dr. Sloan is about to destroy us with her tank, giant robot crushes Dr. Sloan. The Foundation and Agent Jones goes after this mysterious person called Geno. Start to see this mysterious chrome appear everywhere on the map. And in Season 4, the chrome attacks, kidnaps most of the members of the 7. The Paradigm manages to escape. Paradigm escapes through the 0 point and find out it was Herald behind all this. Slowly the chrome takes over the entire island. Herald becomes part of the reality tree and destroys the Chapter 3 map. We play one of the worst live events in the history of Fortnite. We're introduced to this character called the Rift Warden. In game, he's building this rift gate. He's doing this after being ordered by this person called the Shapeless Man. But someone tampers with the rift gate. The rift gate destabilizes and explodes, creating a giant portal in the sky. Bunch of new locations and people are rifted into Fortnite. In game, we get a giant earthquake. Ancient world beneath our island is revealed. Dr. Sloan is rebuilding this apparatus, which is now projecting the circular object heading towards the island. Now we believe that this circular object is either the ice moon. A lot of people are suggesting this is in fact the Cube Cradle, mothership of the Last Reality. This trailer was made by Ferals, and you can see this is how the Last Reality event, which is going to be the end of this chapter, this is going to take place next season, Chapter 2 Season 4.